Teardrops and Profit. The report by the Parliamentary Committee on Ways and Means identified a rise in imports of essential food items, including potatoes, onions, dried spreads, mung beans and Maldive fish. The report highlights significant profit margins on these imported goods. For example, the committee found that last year, the profit margin between the purchase price at Colombo port and the selling price at the city's wholesale market was 273 rupees per kilogram for bee onions, 93 rupees per kilogram for potatoes, 811 rupees and 50 cents per kilogram for dried spreads, 848 rupees per kilogram for mung beans, and 2,319 rupees per kilogram for Maldive fish. The committee raises concerns about the potential for tax evasion given these high profit margins. The report indicates that 4,773 individuals owe more than 10 million rupees in individual unpaid taxes. Furthermore, the committee questions the fairness of price setting in the absence of a clear pricing mechanism, particularly when it disproportionately benefits a limited number of individuals. The Committee on Ways and Means, during a press conference held today at the Parliament complex, announced the development of a system to prevent arbitrary invoice practices.
We have informed Sri Lanka Customs to notify the Committee on Ways and Means on price of a kilogram of any essential commodity when the goods reach the port. We requested that those figures also be directed to the Department of Census and Statistics and the Consumer Affairs Authority. In addition, those entities are informed to take into consideration other expenses such as transportation, insurance, etc. and come up with a certified maximum retail price for individual items. This needs to be done weekly. We have made it clear that unlawful profiteering, similar to what took place in December, cannot be allowed. We will not allow that.
The Committee on Ways and Means also informed the Inland Revenue Department to take steps to recover unpaid taxes.
A recommendation was made to the Inland Revenue Department to obtain the names of importers who made undue profits in importing essential goods to the country. We recommended that the unpaid taxes be recovered from the said importers. There are 4,773 people who have not paid over 10 million rupees in individual taxes. The Inland Revenue Department was informed to submit their names to the Parliament. The Consumer Affairs Authority decided to cease deciding on the MRP via the Food Policy Council. We informed them that to make recommendations to us to ensure that unlawful profiteering is prevented. We believe that a proper system will be put in place.
The issue was discussed in Parliament today.
I object to the government raising tax rates while failing to collect the evaded taxes identified in the Ways and Means report. Union leaders suggest that tax collection could begin on incomes exceeding 250,000 rupees. By not acting on the information in this report, the government appears to be protecting the country's wealthy billionaires. The revelations made by the Committee on Ways and Means are very important. We intend to delve deeper into these findings and submit a report to Parliament within the next parliamentary week. I would like to highlight some points based on my general knowledge. We are talking about taxes that have been evaded for 30 years. While we have recovered approximately 35% of that amount in this short period, a significant portion, roughly 90%, remains tied up in court proceedings. This highlights a discrepancy between the information in reports and the reality on the ground. Liquor licenses were suspended because taxes weren't paid. However, those same licenses have been re-granted even though the taxes remain unpaid. If manufacturing is halted due to a lack of licenses, then we won't be able to collect any revenue. This highlights the significant gap between what reports say and what's practical on the ground. There are certain taxes where reducing the rates might not necessarily win the government favor. This is particularly true when tax increases target business profits. In such cases, businesses often simply raise their prices the next day, claiming the higher tax rate as justification. When tax rates are lowered, businesses may not necessarily reduce their prices, arguing that their existing stock was purchased under the previous tax regime. This creates a dilemma for policymakers. Some officials, fearing parliamentary criticism for raising taxes that benefit businesses indirectly, are hesitant to implement such measures. I've personally witnessed this reluctance within the Finance Ministry. However, inaction isn't a solution either. Therefore, a careful re-evaluation of tax policy decisions is crucial.
අපිට මේක කරන්න බෑ. මේකෙන් එන්නේ අපිට චෝදනාවක්. ඒ නිසා මෙවැනි තීන්දුව ගන්න බදු වලදී අපි නැවත සලකා බලන්න ඕන.